Yo, you can't stand right there. In your man's right hand, where's your man? Fuck, I forgot it. Dang it, whatever.
This is our second take and he still can't remember it.
I still can't remember it. Whatever.
Well, anyways, welcome everybody to the Stedl podcast. Oh, what's this? I have a co-host again. It's Alvaro.
Yeah,
here.
what up? We're back at it again. At Krispy Kreme. We're not at Krispy Kreme.
Well, we are not at this is like the nicest Krispy Kreme I've ever been to.
Yeah, it's got nice.
What's this? Vibe. We're discussing media that we like this
Yeah, our favorite movie, our favorite TV show, and our favorite
album. I think we can guess what show it is that I have.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't obvious from the headband, you know.
I'm curious what your little items that you brought, your little trinkets.
Yeah, I only got two because I don't own my favorite TV show on DVD yet.
Ooh, what's that?
Oh, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. Huh? Okay, so who's starting? Want rock paper?
Rock paper scissors.
What? Fuck, whatever. I guess you can start since you're always making me start.
Okay. So for our films, we have the Austin Powers trilogy.
You like all three of them equally?
I do actually like them all equally for separate reasons. So what I like about the first movie is it's a fish out of water story about a man who...
A very British man.
A very British man, yes.
In a very, like, modern time.
Well, back then, the 90s.
The 90s.
You were about to say the 80s. I'm like, jeez, that would have been a whole different movie.
That would have been
Had
fun.
he gone back to the 80s, that would have been crazy. Yeah, why haven't they made that?
He went back to the 70s.
Yeah, because they do make an offhand joke in the third movie about him going to the 80s, I think. Like, briefly.
That would have been fun to see. Anyway,
the first movie is about a fish out of water. It's a very sweet movie in weird ways.
Because when you showed me it for the first time, I'm thinking it's this cheesy like James Bond rip-off spy movie, and it embraces that tone, but like it's also sweethearted and
it's well written actually.
Yeah,
I know people call this like movie slapstick, but like I mean it's there, but like. I listened to the commentary track and like these guys love these movies. That's why it's like so well done and like okay yeah the continuity and all that, but like that's on purpose.
It's like that scene where like you know the love interest is drunk and she's like no. You can have sex with me and Austin's like dog you can't consent properly right now.
No.
But I'm like hold on, what is this?
Remember fellas, she can't consent if she's drunk.
No is
also
no.
Other way around.
No is yeah.
Ladies out there as well.
I don't drink.
Whoever you are.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, you don't know if somebody expects to drink or not, so yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so it's really it's wholesome. It's a wholesome, funny spy movie. I would, if you love good comedy and a good spy plot, I would honest to God go for it. My favorite joke of the whole movie is that Starbucks joke. And it's aged so horribly, but it's so funny.
I don't think that was the first one. No, that wasn't the first one.
Were you sure it wasn't the first one? I could have.
No, that was not the first one.
That was the first one. I don't
think so. Was it?
It was the first one.
Are you sure that was the first one? I thought that was the third one. I really thought that was the third one.
I can't remember. You could be right.
Because that's the one with Rob Lowe, where he like came in and he was number 2. Which, yeah, that's a running gag. I love that joke.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. But
they awkwardly found a way to, like, bring number 2 back.
I could have sworn that was the first one. I could totally be wrong.
I'm pretty sure you're wrong about that one.
I could look, I mean, you just... Andrew, when you're editing it, put it in the tags who's right. Who's right,
who's wrong.
Yeah, but yeah, that's one of my favorite jokes, because the whole joke is that Starbucks is cheap and, like, it's evil, but, like... It's not cheap anymore, and they're still evil.
I mean, my favorite joke is that they have Elvis Costello in there, yet they're trying to imply that this is like the 60s or the 70s, and like it's totally Elvis Costello like today when they recorded the movie in the second one.
Oh God.
This is my favorite scene is him and Burt Bacharach, and like Burt Bacharach clearly looks older than what he really is. But apparently, after that scene is over, if you look for a split second, you can see Hollywood for just a second in, like, the UK.
Oh.
That was a gag they threw in there as, like, a joke, because, like, that mistake would happen all the time. They'd be like, oh, yeah, we're in, like, you know, the UK, but, like, this is shot in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
Because mistakes like that back then happen because they didn't have money to edit movies back then.
I mean, all three of them are fun. I remember when you were, you sat me and Jacob down to watch these when it was my first time. You told me the third one was received the worst, and I watched it. And
there's a reason why. There's a reason why.
I really like it, but yeah, there's, I mean, besides that, what I think is the obvious one, but.
Well, I mean, the obvious reason that the only thing I don't like about, and it's such a minor flaw about Goldmember, is
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey, obviously.
Fuck that guy.
I mean, suddenly, somehow, what I was about to say Danny Glover, that's not who it is. Excuse me.
Nice.
Who's that guy from Sunny in Philadelphia? What the hell is his name?
Danny DeVito?
Yeah, Danny DeVito is somehow the good guy in this scenario, as Mini-Me.
Oh, yeah!
That's such a short sketch that, they only bring it back,
at the end
briefly for a second.
At the end of the movie.
That's it.
But it's so funny that they cast Kevin Spacey as Dr. Evil.
That's so ironic.
That is aged so weirdly.
But that's not even the reason people hated this movie. That's the funniest thing about it. Was what people didn't like about it, and I think you can guess what it is Beyonce. From every review I read, they said Beyonce put in a bad performance. She was very choppy. Very, just not good. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what the word is that they. There was a recurring word that I kept reading in reviews, and I'm trying to think of what it was.
Maybe it's best you don't remember in case it's something gross. I don't know.
No. It's just they were saying she just didn't put in a good performance, and I feel like Beyonce gets a little bit of flack for acting. She was really not bad in this movie.
I actually kind of enjoyed her performance.
Well, because the movie requires her to basically make fun of. Well, I don't think they were making fun of necessarily. They were embracing blaxploitation movies for sure, Foxy Jones and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that for what it's worth, giving her a Razzie is a little far. There's plenty of movies that came around that time that I would rather give that award to even suggest that she deserved a Razzie Award for Worst Actress is just kind of ridiculous when she's not even putting in a bad performance here.
Yeah, honestly, I really had a lot of fun with her performance. I had a lot of fun with that one. It's not my favorite of the three. It's much like the Spider-Man trilogy. They're all good.
The music is so good in that
The music is really good. I think that's just a highlight of all three movies in general. The music is just top tier.
Well, what's interesting about the soundtrack is they really did... They did embrace those eras. Getting Quincy Jones' approval was obviously having Quincy Jones in the third movie was the perfect ending to the trilogy of having Austin Powers kiss Quincy Jones on the cheek and be like, "Thanks, Quincy."
Oh my god.
That was actually a cute little funny scene.
Oh yeah.
At the beginning where they break the fourth wall and they're like, "Oh, Quincy Jones here, everybody." Can we just talk about how Quincy Jones is a legend, by the way?
Oh yeah.
How he did all, well, that's not true. He didn't do everything for Thriller, but he did most of the work for Thriller. Depending on who you talk to, there were a lot of people who worked on Thriller but just didn't get a writing credit on the production, as far as I know. But yeah, having that Quincy Jones theme at the beginning of every Austin Powers movie is amazing. And I think this is a concept that people get confused with, is that wasn't made for Austin Powers, that was made for something separate, but they got the approval to use it for all three of the movies.
I don't think it would be the same if it wasn't for that theme. That theme was really catchy.
And when they remixed the theme, I was like, oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, all those movies are solid, but you didn't really talk about the second one that well.
Well, the second one is actually, that's the one that I think is really the most sweet out of all of them. This is the one where Austin loses his mojo and he can't, he doesn't know whether or not he's gonna get it back. And this is the one where I'm a little sad that they didn't bring her back for the third movie, because, dude, Heather Graham was really great in this movie.
She was. And, what's even weirder is that,
she matches his energy. That's the weird thing.
Yeah, and, they bring her back from didn't they bring her back from the 80s?
No, they brought her back from the 60s, I believe.
Okay.
I believe that's what it was.
Something around there. And then, she's living in the present with Austin, and then she just disappears for the next movie. I get it. It's like
that's a continuity joke. That's a continuity.
Yeah, it's a continuity. I mean, but still, I
think realistically they couldn't get her back. That's what it was. That's my guess. Is they really wanted to, and maybe here's my thing about it. Maybe they really wanted Beyonce in the sequel. because they clearly wanted to tackle that blaxploitation topic very well, and they did a very good job of it.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have made sense if they had Heather Graham back. I mean, maybe they could have done what they did for the second movie and had a cameo, like they had that chick from the first movie and they had a one-off joke.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been as good if, just said she was a robot. That would have negated a lot of stuff. Because let's face it, the chick in the first movie is not the perfect pick for Austin.
Yeah.
She's acting well and she's good in the movie, but honestly, the second one.
Yeah.
I love her name, by the way. It's so hilarious. I think it's like Shag or something like that.
It was something ridiculous.
But what I love is that there's an actual chemistry between her and Austin. Like, there's legit, like, actual stuff going on. At first, it's like, okay, she just wants to shag and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But then we establish, oh, she does actually care about him, like, as a person. Like, there's a genuine actual connection and, like, they're actually falling in love, but he's afraid of commitment, which is a weird message to have in an Austin Powers movie.
I mean,
when you think about it, you're like, oh, wow, this is a serious message. Holy shit.
It's fun. All these movies are fun as hell, and they have such a sweet little message to each of them, too. It's like about love too. It's like sweet messages about love.
Yeah, I mean, Burt Bacharach is known for love songs, so having him even in there in the background of like, what the world needs is love, sweet love.
It's adorable. I really like it.
I love how that's how they end the third movie. They just have like the Windows like screensaver ending.
But yeah,
they show clips from all three movies. Oh my god, yeah. No, if you really want to know the best way to own these movies, this triple feature Blu-ray package right here, I mean, it's really the best way to own all three movies. You get the commentary tracks, bonus scenes, deleted scenes, and I mean, honestly, it's gorgeous, even for like a Blu-ray quality.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I remember seeing it on your TV. That was nice as hell.
I mean, it darn near looks 4K for what it is. It's ridiculous. Yes, Austin Powers. Now what's
my favorite TV show?
No, that's a
movie.
God, they made it. I think they made it. They were considering making an Austin Powers cartoon at one point. They just never did it.
That'd be nice. My favorite movie, Jaws.
That's a jaw-dropping movie.
I quit.
Oh, you quit?
I'm kidding. Yeah, Jaws is my favorite movie of all time.
I see. You have the 4K version.
I do have the 4K version, and it's one of the only movies I remember watching when I was younger. I probably should not have seen it when I was younger, but...
Well, according to the ratings board, you can watch that.
Yeah, it's a PG. And I remember hearing why they got away with the PG. Like
there's a reason why.
Well, because like, yeah, because like I was watching the special features with the interviews. Like, oh, how did they? They're like, oh, we sent it to the board. We had to delete a scene because that scene made it R. And they're like, okay, the whole reason we got a PG rating was because we pretty much told them it's under the guise of like a nature film. This could happen in reality.
Yeah, that could happen. And then get chomped up.
And then the ratings board was all like, I guess you might be right.
Well, that's cute that they're even saying that. There's a big reason why that movie got accepted. Because Steven Spielberg...
He was not big at that time.
No. He was not big at the time. That's not what I was going to say. I'm just saying he was really good, like talking his way out of getting a rated R rating. He was such a master of doing it.
Oh yeah.
Even back then. Mm-hmm. That's how he got it. Like, he legit did the whole excuse of, oh, well, another excuse that they gave was, oh, it's a heroic thing, it's a natural heroic thing, And I guess, in a sense, it kind of is a heroic action that guy does, I suppose.
Yeah.
What I absolutely love about that movie, though, is most of that film was improvised. Oh, yeah. They didn't even do it like the book. Like, people don't know that Jaws was a book. Before it was a movie. I
have the book. I still haven't finished it. It's a completely different story. All the characters are unlikable in that book. Jesus.
Because if you watch the movie, like they were like, book. What book? Because that part where
Peter Benchley even has a cameo as a news reporter in that movie in Jaws. He's the news reporter.
Gosh, I don't know who that is.
So. He's the author of the book.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Peter Benchley's the author of the book. Yeah. I love this movie. I was obsessed
Yeah,
with
see,
this
I'm
movie.
more
And
familiar with the movie, not the book. I'm less familiar with the book, more with the movie.
I'm more or less somewhat familiar with the book. This is my favorite movie. This kind of sparked my love for sharks. I love them still. Even as a kid, I'm like, whoa, those are cool. Now as an adult, I'm like, whoa, these are really cool creatures.
Well,
But
what's
yeah,
very interesting is I don't think everything in that movie could really happen in real life.
no,
Like,
the MythBusters have done so many things to pretty much say that this probably couldn't.
but
have
like
happened.
the way that movie looks, it's still like most of it has aged incredibly well. The way that they like did the practical effects.
I mean, this
for
was in the
everything.
70s. 75 is when this came out. The weird
Compared
little
to the sequels, which look terrible, like
Jaws
god
2.
awful.
Jaws 2 doesn't look as bad, but it's not perfect.
I mean, it's not a good movie.
It's not
Let's
bad.
be-
I don't think it's awful. I
Why
don't
be
hate-
nice? Why you be nice? That movie sucks.
Jaws 2?
Oh my god,
it's not
that movie sucks.
It's not as bad as the other two sequels that came
Compared to
after.
the first movie, that movie sucks.
Yeah, compared to the first one, I think the shark looks so much worse, but I still had fun with it.
I mean, yeah, if like Jaws, the original property, didn't exist, sure, that movie would be considered a classic today to some people. But like to me, it's like if I watch that movie back to back with Jaws, it's like the quality's just not as good. Definitely Jaws 3D.
Oh,
God, what a movie that is.
Why did you
It's
mention
terrible?
that one? But yeah,
Man. Okay, but
what I really like about the movie the most is the chemistry between the main three leads.
I was about to say, I thought you would think the skinny dipping was the best part of the movie.
Bro.
Oh, you don't remember that? That's
I
in
do.
the movie.
You're down bad, dog. I mean, it's
That's
literally
the beginning of the movie.
it is,
Don't
but
give me-
it's also like a little cover of the bonus
it's a little
feature.
cover of the art.
A little booklet of like cool little things.
Well,
this is the 40th anniversary, no 45th anniversary for
45th anniversary edition. Get it damn right.
yeah, my
motherfucker.
bad. Yeah, this thing came out in 75. And yeah,
The
I
4K is beautiful.
Yeah, it's a nice little
It
4K.
includes a Blu-ray if you don't got a 4K player.
I do not have a 4K player, so I've been watching the Blu-ray and it looks fantastic. I need a 4K player.
I think
but yeah.
I even have a Blu-ray of it somewhere that I got for like $5.
Yeah, you can get this movie super cheap on DVD and even Blu-ray for like maybe $5-10.
I would say the Blu-ray looks a little bit better than the DVD.
It depends on which version of the DVD. Like one thing I hate. One thing
yeah.
I hate is that the edited versions kind of replace some of the original sound effects. Like the newer versions replace some of the older sound effects, and that doesn't make the movie a whole lot worse. Yeah,
I never noticed that.
I have two versions, an older one and a newer one.
Really, because I do have a Blu-ray. I wonder if there's any differences. I'd have to watch them.
It's literally one of the sound effects at the very end. Where they blow up the shark.
Okay, I don't really see that being a huge deal, but
I mean,
if it was like Star Wars, where like they totally edited the movie, I would be with you. But if they like edit a sound effect out, it's like. For me, you're like, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, because like I remember hearing the old sound, and then I got this newer one, and I'm like, oh, they completely changed the sound. Okay,
I've seen that in theaters. I don't think they changed it in theaters.
What, bro? I still haven't seen it in theaters.
Well, yeah, oddly enough, I took my grandma to go see that in theaters.
Okay, but I like the second best thing I love about this movie is the score. I even have the score to this on vinyl. I loved it that much.
I'm kidding. It's great.
Oh god, it's so amazing. I'm sorry, but like everything works in this movie, and it shouldn't. That's the thing, because like on set, nothing worked out. Literally, everything went to shit when they were filming that movie. Everything was terrible when they filmed it. Literally, they almost lost like a roll of footage because it ended up sinking with one of the boats that wasn't supposed to sink at the moment it was supposed to.
Yeah, talk about making movies in the 70s where like things just didn't work out at all.
Oh yeah, geez, the shark didn't even work out half the time. That's why they got so creative with the barrels.
Yeah, that's very interesting to learn that fact, is because that wasn't even supposed to be in the movie, and it's like, oh, that seems badass when you watch it.
Oh yeah, I have so much fun with this movie. I never have a bad time rewatching this. I have seen it maybe over 100 times. I know every line more or less. And like I never have a bad time revisiting it because it's just held up the test of time. It's a solid as hell movie.
I mean, it's arguably a perfect movie depending on who you ask.
I think it's pretty perfect. Yeah, there's.
I mean, obviously the shark looks fake a couple times.
It doesn't. Okay, in certain scenes, yeah, but arguably the shark looks pretty good for 75.
No,
and
I'm
it
just
still holds
saying,
up pretty well.
I mean, looking at it in 4K, like it definitely still looks really good. Like they did it justice. I don't know if they got specific approval. Like that's the thing with 4K releases. Sometimes they can be director approved.
Mm-hmm.
This one I believe was. There's more of those popping up, thankfully, because like when 4K releases started, that's not how that was. They were just like, okay, slap a filter on it. Okay, all right, put it out, put some extra dollars on it. Now it's like, okay, we got to get the director's approval and yada yada yada.
Yeah, I think if this is a solid as hell movie, if you
And I don't
somehow
think you can get that anymore. That release, that
This one?
particular
Yeah.
one, it might be out of print at least.
I think you can still
locally.
get a hold of the steelbook ones, which I really need to buy. I own
You don't need it.
I own 4 copies of this movie. I'm going to own 2 more.
You don't just like you don't need to watch Community. You don't need it.
I quit.
Oh come on! I'm actually watching it now. And you're
I know you are,
disappointed.
because like I have forced you to watch it, because I keep
I mean,
hyping
there's
it
no
up.
forcing it. I just never got around to it.
Yeah.
I like the cast quite a bit. I like everybody in it.
It's fun. But yeah, this movie great. It's a solid
No, 0 out of 10.
it's a-
Shark didn't kill everybody. I feel like this movie's terrible.
It is a solid as hell. Hey, let's go kill the. It's basically the story of the Kraken, but like in the 70s. That's really the worst way I can
So
describe it.
basically Moby Dick, but
With no
better.
life, but with no lesson. Yeah.
Like if you watch Moby Dick or whatever the movie is from Disney, like now,
I think it is
that
Moby
movie
Dick.
just doesn't look as good as it used to.
It's like Moby Dick, but without a life lesson and a blown up shark. Like, bro, this movie
Well,
is
I
so
mean,
good.
oddly enough, weirdly enough, there is kind of a weird life lesson in that movie because
And
it's weird how this correlates to real life because the mayor in that movie is like,
corrupt.
oh, let's reopen the beaches even though there's a shark.
He's like, what shark?
People have been comparing this movie to like what happened in 2020 because like, oh no, because Florida like opened up the beaches right away after, even though they were like, no, COVID's a thing, like shut down.
Oh my god!
Now reopen back up.
Imagine COVID solidifies in the shape of a shark.
Oh my god.
That would have been funny. Fucking COVID shark. But yeah, if you haven't seen this movie somehow, please get on that. It's not a chore to finish. It's fairly short, kind of. No, it's not short. It's quite long, but
It's not, I mean, the
like a-
pacing's good, so the movie's not that
it's a long.
long.
Yeah, it's long, but the pacing is excellent. I think it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work as well if the cast wasn't so perfect. I think
Well,
that's
what I'm talking about because like
my favorite thing. Everyone is casted so perfectly.
True.
Like
but with that one guy, like the hunter guy,
Quint, Robert
So
Shaw's character. Don't you dare disrespect Quint like that.
when they like had him come in and do the chalkboard thing, that wasn't in the script.
What's even
That
funny,
wasn't there.
What's funny? He was evading the IRS at that time for tax evasion, so he could only be in the U.S. for like a couple days. He'd have to go back home in Scotland, come back a couple days later, and just to finish shooting. It was weird.
And what's very interesting about his character as well is they didn't ask him to drink on set. That just started happening, and Steven Spielberg just kept saying, "Just keep filming it."
No,
Just keep filming it.
You know what sucks? You know that scene where he's talking about the USS Indianapolis? You know that the ship that got sunk down by the torpedoes. He was drinking like hardcore offset the day like a couple hours before the shooting happened.
I love how you're implying offset when he totally did it on set, but keep going.
Yeah, on set and offset, whatever. And like when they plopped him in the chair, he was so drunk. The take was awful. They could not use that take. I mean, they used bits and pieces of it. If you look close enough, you can tell he's drunk when his eyes are super watery.
I'm like, how
do I know this?
I love how you're being all coy, like, oh man, he was too drunk. I'm like, wait a minute, there's a whole segment of the movie where they literally didn't script it at all, where they start singing drinking songs.
Yeah, that
And
one.
that wasn't even in the script. They just kept filming, and they said, oh, it does work so well because they're just literally singing songs in the middle of like trying to go get a shark.
Sea shanties. But he ended up getting so drunk, and then the next day he's
Oh
like,
yeah, he had a drinking problem. That
and
was
then
very apparent.
The next day he told Steven Spielberg, "Oh my God, I am so sorry for this. Can we please redo it? I am so sorry." He's like, "Okay, yeah, all right, that's fine."
Well,
and then he delivered the coldest speech of all. He wrote that Indianapolis speech himself. He wrote that whole thing himself. He did it so it's so chilling. I get chills every time I look at that scene.
I mean, it's amazing that there are scenes where he's clearly sober, but then I love the ones where he's just clearly drunk and winging it.
Oh yeah, and he does. I mean, If it was anyone else, I don't think it would work as well. But Robert Shaw is so amazing.
If it was Johnny Depp doing it, then I'm kidding. It's kind of sad to know what happened to Johnny Depp, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on to another animal, the Cobra Kai.
Man, that show sucks.
If you could.
I'm kidding. I've seen the first season and I really like it. It's solid as hell. It is solid as hell.
So yes, this is the limited edition, as you can see, version with the headband. Yeah, YouTube, before they sold it to Netflix, they were like, all right, we're going to release a DVD set of season 1 and 2. And,
I still have to watch season 2.
I still have this version with the headband that's... I'm not going to show it on camera because it would take too long to reverse it. But yes, the other side does include Miyagi-Do as well.
Ah, okay.
I am putting the side with Cobra Kai, the side that I choose. Yeah, Cobra Kai season 1 and 2.
I've only seen season 1, so if you're going to talk about anything,
I'm just going to avoid season 2, and I will talk about season 1 right now.
It's going to have to be in the guys of season 1. I think season 1, because like I heard about it when it was coming out, and I'm like, okay,
first
cool.
of all, how old do you think Kyler is in real life? I just want to ask.
Dang.
This is a question I want you to seriously
think Kyler?
About. Yes.
Shit, I forgot who he was. He's
the bully one at the beginning, and Sam's boyfriend at the beginning.
Oh.
You're like pondering in thought.
Shit.
Oh, you don't have to give me an exact age.
Isn't he? No, he's not the same age as me. That's Miguel. He's the same age as me. We have the same birthday.
Okay. That guy's 30 in real life. I looked it up. That guy has been acting for years. He was in Community.
Get out. No way.
No, I don't know if he was in Community. I know he was in some show with actors from Community, from what I understand.
Okay. But yeah,
dude,
the guy who plays Miguel, same birthday. I think
that's crazy. Yeah, dude, I love that guy. I love Miguel in the show.
When I told my friend that, she's like, you could have been acting right now. You guys started at the same point in time. He's successful, and you're just here working at Walmart. And I'm like, at least I'm having fun. That's my thing.
But you could be karate chopping people right
now. I could be kung fu fighting. You know?
You could be kung fu fighting. What I think sells this show, though, is we get a little taste
of both. Yeah,
of
both worlds.
The new school and the old school, and also having 80 songs in there helps.
Yeah.
You know, having.
I think it's also a beautiful blend of looking at it from the opposite point of view. Because, like, Karate Kid, Miyagi-Do, the heroes of the story. Then we go to Cobra Kai, the antagonists of the original story. And now they're the protagonists this time around.
Okay. What's very cool about that first shot of the first episode is that's actual footage from the original movie that they never used. They never used that footage in the movie. If you go and watch the movie again, that's an original shot that I guess Sony had access to. They were like, oh yeah, no, we still got the reels of this film, and that like you can put in the show to like show like Johnny's side of it. Because I don't know if you know this, but the behind the scenes thing was, and William Zabka has said this many times, is the original film was supposed to be Johnny's story and Danielson's story at the same time. But the director then went with the story of, okay, we're going to choose a side, and then Cobra Kai is going to be this way. Just go over here. They're the bad guys for sure. If you watch the movie again, you can totally see that there's a story that's not being told there of like Johnny getting abused by Kreese, and and you'll get into that in the second season. Kreese is the guy at the end.
Because I just started like an episode or two of the second season, so I do know who Kreese is.
They get into that in the first episode. I mean, you don't really learn enough about him yet to like. I mean, he's a jerk. I was about to say a word I'm not going to say. And gosh, man, this show really respects the legend of Pat Morita a lot. Like, I know everybody calls him Mr. Miyagi, and I'm like, if you call Pat Morita Mr. Miyagi only, you're being a jerk. And that's a stereotype. That's not the only thing he did. He was a stand-up comedian.
It's such a wholesome role, too.
What I found out was he doesn't really talk like that in real life.
I know.
He's American. He doesn't talk like that. And people really always thought he was just Mr. Miyagi, and he was also on Happy Days as the chef.
Oh.
That's the funny thing about Happy Days is people are like, oh, Fonzie, and it's just all white people. No, 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 no. Pat Morita was the chef in there because they were like, okay. The joke is that he had like this white name, and then they were like, oh yeah, that's who it is. Which funny story about Pat Morita was apparently when he showed up to the Happy Days reunion, apparently he was so drunk and like acting erratic that they couldn't use any of the footage.
Oh.
That's how bad he like showed up. It's not funny in the sense of like his life though, because like he was struggling as an actor, like even get a role. To the point where he had to go on Robot Chicken, and that one sketch I showed you where he's like training that one guy from NSYNC, Joy Tone.
Oh yeah, that was a funny skit, but
no, it's funny because like that's weird that like he's just in it. He's like completely doing his American accent. He's like, I'm Pat fucking Morita. God damn it, not Mr. Me.
Yeah, I think the whole show is the first season at least. I haven't seen all of it, but it's solid as hell.
The first season is a really solid tale of seeing both sides of the story and going, well, even people that we think are perfect, like Daniel, aren't perfect and have their own issues. I love how they tackle that he has issues with his marriage. He's not perfect. He's trying to be a perfect dad, but also, first of all, his son Anthony is just can we just talk about how that's a useless character to just be a side gag?
I mean, keep in mind there are shows that do that. Side characters who kind of have one-off lines, and I mean, because it makes
because he doesn't bring anything to the plot for me.
I mean, keep
He's
in
just
mind
not there for anything.
Keep in mind, there's a lot of stories that do that, just like as recurring characters to kind of build the world up a bit. I think that's the only reason he's included is to kind of help with the world building. Kind of.
True.
So like there is a point to having him there, but he doesn't add a whole lot to the plot. I mean, he's there for a reason, but
I speculate maybe in season 4 they might bring him back, but as of right now, it's like he's not really adding anything. He's not a terrible actor. He's just kind of there for gags and to be the side humor type of character. Also to apparently advertise PS Vita. Hey, wink, wink, Sony.
Yeah, that never went off.
The failed. I have one. I just never use it. Like it's a cool little.
Every time I hear the PS Vita, I always think of that South Park episode.
It's basically a portable PS3.
Yeah.
Like it's cool, but like the technology is not really perfect for it.
I mean, it was ahead of its time from what I keep on hearing.
I keep never like using it. It's like I want to use it because I do want to actually eventually get the Sly Cooper series, but apparently it was a digital code for the third game now, so it's like, oh well, that's not gonna work now. So. Yeah. But yeah, the first season of Cobra Kai. Yes. Poor Robbie. He just wanted to get revenge on his dad, and then what's that? He grows a heart bigger than his size.
And now he's working with his dad's arch nemesis.
Which is that's an interesting flip-flop. Is like at first he's like just doing it to get back at his dad. But then he ends up going like, oh shit. Dang, this is actually pretty cool, and I'm learning life lessons actually, and I'm having my own. I mean, they don't say it out loud, but yes, like
his own father figure.
Daniel is becoming his own little father figure. What I think is so interesting in the last episode with that is Daniel pulls him aside, and he's like, I don't love your dad. He's not a perfect person. He's got his own shit going on. But you gotta forgive him. You have to do it. That's just part of life. You got to do this. Even though he himself, that's the ironic thing, is Daniel can't forgive Johnny for it. And it's very clear in the first season, he cannot get over this. He just never gets over this.
Yeah.
To the point where when like Johnny's trying to reinstate Cobra Kai, Daniel goes out of his way to try and go against Johnny the whole time. And everybody else is like, okay, you clearly changed. This is not what this is anymore.
Yeah. And like I like how when like bits of the second season, and there's like moments in the second season I've like seen where it's like, oh wow, Dango, fucking Miguel, you did this at a tournament. No, we're not evil anymore. We were slightly evil. No, we're good now. That's like in the first couple episodes. I have no idea what happens later on.
Well, I mean, it's debatable on who is the good guy and who is not.
Because it's what I like about it. It's so gray. Like. Everyone has a gray area in this whole series, and like it's not it's not like it's written awfully. It's written really well. Because, like, everyone is morally gray. Because, like, Daniel could completely just let Johnny live his life. He doesn't have any reason to get involved with the karate thing again. He has a car dealership. He is making so much money.
Well, hold on a second. He doesn't have a singular car dealership. He has multiple of them.
Yeah, he's got like a whole business going on. But, like, just some guy from my past has opened up a karate dojo in the same name that, you know, pretty much ruined my childhood, even though it ended up making his life better. I must go at it. I must go at him and knock him when he's down out of pure spite, because he's evil and people don't change. Oh, hi, Johnny's son. Your dad has changed. You should go talk to him. I don't know. Everything is so morally gray in a weird sense, but I think it works really well.
What makes it work is the show knows when to get serious, but it also knows when to, like, make you laugh with it. Like, it's like, okay, we know this is cheesy, we know this is silly, but these actors are gonna sell it, and they really care about the property. I think what helps so much is they had the writers from Hot Tub Time Machine, which is a movie that makes fun of the 80s. And ironically, William Zabka was in that movie as well as the bully. Ironically enough. But apparently those guys, the story goes, they hit up William Zabka first, and they were like, hey, we got this story for Karate Kid, and we, like, kind of want you to be, like, the kind of serious anti-hero. Like, we don't know if you're the hero, but, like, you're not a bad guy. And then apparently they hit up everybody else. They were like, hey, you know, we wrote you into this. What do you think? And that's how the story goes. And now we have this series that's a freaking hit for Netflix now all of a sudden.
It wasn't a hit for YouTube, but
it was a hit for YouTube, actually. It got millions of views. Like, I think the initial episode had 190 million views on YouTube.
Damn.
Well, it was doing good for YouTube. It's just the thing is, YouTube was like, damn, producing this show is a bitch. Because season 3 was done. They finished it. It was done. They just didn't want to distribute it. They refused to do it because they said it was too much money. They didn't want to do it. So then Netflix was like, okay, $200 million. Come here. We're going to take it from you.
We got it.
And then God, the anticipation for season 3 was ridiculous, which I'm not going to discuss why I love it so much because there's a lot of cameos in that one.
All right.
And I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it.
I'll start watching it. Don't worry.
You should.
I'll get to it.
I wanted to talk about season 3 so much.
I know you do.
There's so much in that.
And I really want to talk. I really want to talk a lot about my favorite show, but you've only seen.
I've started it. I haven't. There's some. Like,
Are you sure you think you know which one's my favorite show?
I think yeah, I know which one it is. It's That's So Raven. It's your favorite Disney property. I know it is.
Shut up. I've never seen it. But yeah, I think the first season is a great introduction. I really like it. The cute, wholesome moments that turn sour later on. It's kind of depressing. It gets so depressing later on. I really was like, I was like,
what do you mean? It's depressing from the beginning because Johnny's life peaked in the 80s and he just doesn't know how to go forward. He's like got cassette players. He's still listening to the 80s. He's trying to hit on babes, the frickin' like stoplight.
What's like, okay, yeah, it's depressing, but then it turns up to like gear 9 and I'm like, God damn it, Miguel, what the fuck did you do?
I love how like Johnny doesn't give a shit about anything but his car. He doesn't care about helping Miguel. Like they established he's stuck in the 80s, he's racist, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
I love when he gets a computer for the first time. All he does is
babes.
Hot babes, yeah.
Okay, that's not what he would do, but okay, sure. Like that's what he would do in his universe, And
then he just starts like looking up YouTube videos. I'm like, bro, okay, why is this so hilarious and why is this aged weirdly well? I don't know, it's good. I think it's solid as hell. The first season and the whatever I've seen of season 2. Please watch it. Don't be like me. Be like him and watch it.
Watch it. I shoved DVD in your face. Go watch it now.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Go watch it now.
We got
DVD. Give me that back.
Yeah, we gotta finish this first.
Mine.
Yeah, it's yours. It's on Netflix,
yeah,
so like you got access to it.
Back. Now, what's your favorite show? Is Community, correct?
No.
Oh wow. What is your show then?
Well, okay. For like the past like week, I've been so like Yeah, there's like 3 shows I really like.
No, please, no.
But I like them all for different reasons. So like, I don't know if I want to do this as like a top 3 or just like my favorite. But
you can do a tie if you want to. That's fine.
more or less a tie, and all for completely different reasons. It's Atlanta, yeah, Community, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Yeah, there it is. There it is. There it is. But I like them all for completely different reasons. I really think they're my favorite shows, but they're all my favorite for a different reason. For Atlanta, it's the serious writing that has a blend of comedy. Donald Glover is a really great writer. I love what he's doing with that, and I'm excited for season 3. This fucking filming. We've seen the filming. You better not just chicken out the last minute and say, no, we're not putting it out. Yeah, listen to him.
No season 3.
No, please season 3. Please.
No, FX,
I'm on the edge.
Cancel it. We want more seasons of Dave.
We got another Dave season. That one's fine. I like it. I like it. It's good.
That one's fine.
But I want Atlanta.
We gotta talk about that.
I want Atlanta. I want more Atlanta. But Atlanta,
I do want more Atlanta, but
Atlanta is really good. It's like I mentioned.
Dave is a superior Dave.
But I think from the beginning it's just a good show because like the first episode is hysterical because there's moments from like Darius, one of the best comic relief characters of all time. I'm sorry, yeah, there's obviously better comic relief characters, but him pretty much saying that AIDS was invented to stop someone from beating Steve McQueen's sex record is so hilarious. And then just fucking Ern is all like, I thought it was made to kill off homosexuals. It's like, oh yeah, that too, I guess. And I'm like, what? It's so hysterical. I never have a bad time watching the show. I love a lot of.
I just love Paperboy. That's what I love.
Paperboy is so much fun to watch. It's so much fun.
It almost feels like it should be a real character. That's like a real rapper.
What's so weird about the network, when FX picked it up originally, they wanted Paperboy to have like a stereotypical rapper house, you know, the neon lights, the mansion, whatnot. But like Donald was all like, nah, cause like he lives in Georgia and he's just an underground rapper, like really underground. So they have him in that apartment, and that makes more sense for him.
I mean, that's a realistic take on it.
Yeah, and what's so funny, there's so many gags in that apartment. Like one of the episodes, Darius is just he's like, you know, putting his hand in a box of cereal. He pulls out a gun. He's like, and a couple minutes later, yo, be careful with this box. There might be a bullet in here. It's so funny. It's so ridiculous. There's a moment in the first episode that I love, and it's like in the first couple minutes. He's like, Darius, almost all I'm going to talk about is Darius, because I love Darius as a character so much. It's like he's having a deja vu moment, like, whoa, this is such a deja vu moment. All right, where's Texas Dog? Whoa, it's crazy. Whoa. It's so funny. Season 2 is an improvement. It's a lot darker, but I think more of like...
darker, you say?
Yeah. You know, it's a lot more heavy-handed. It's a lot more real than season 1. I think season 1 was a little more surreal than season 2. The surrealness is still there in season 2, but the episodes are a lot more, you know, grounded and more kind of darker, more of a darker tone. I like it.
Well said, sir. Well said.
Community. That's another one of my favorite shows. It's funny.
I just love that Father's Day episode. I call it the Father's Day episode, where he's like, you're going to play the role of my father. I don't want to be your father. Oh, good. You're already playing your role.
It's so funny. The thing is about Community, it's like, okay, it's pretty much, you know, standard network sitcom. Oh, dang, argument. Oh, wholesome moment. But what's so good about it is the writing. I think that's...
I mean, the actors sell it. I mean, Joel McHale is, like, so good. Bro, that's the thing.
No,
and Jacob Gillian, the chick that he's trying to hit on always is, like... By the way, if you haven't watched Invincible, watch Invincible. Talking to you, too. Anyways, because
they're only trying to mimic a fraction of our power.
Yes, anyway, sir.
Gillian Jacobs, Joel McHale, fucking...
Ken Jeong, don't forget him.
Ken Jeong. Donald Glover, you can tell why I like a lot of the shows. Donald Glover is amazing. I'm sorry, I love that guy. Yannette Nicole Brown, I hope I pronounced that right. Dan...
I mean, the cast is so good. I mean, Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase is pretty good. I don't like the racist comments he's made offhand. We've talked about this before.
I still like his performance.
Racist.
And they definitely play up. They definitely play up that he's supposed to be racist anyways.
I forgot who plays Annie Edison in that show. She was in BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, that's the one I'm not as familiar with. Because the other ones I'm like, okay, that chick's from iCarly. Okay, you're from this. Okay, you're from the John Oliver show. You're John Oliver.
I forgot her name, and I feel so stupid because she's joining the Rick and Morty. Allison Brie. That's what it was. Allison Brie. That's what it was.
Allison Brie. Yeah, I'm not as familiar with her, unfortunately. She's good, though.
She was in BoJack. She's going to be joining the new Rick and Morty season, apparently.
The last episode I've been on is the one where Abed is the only one in the experiment.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like,
that's so funny.
Oh, my God. She's like, it's 26 hours later. He's like, okay, I'm going to get up.
What's so funny? Annie, why is this taking so long? Why? You didn't say it was going to be all day.
And he's just all like...
he's like crawling away. Oh, my God. You're going to love Troy and Abed.
I already love it. I'm already
you're going to love it more. Troy and Abed in the morning. Have you not gotten there yet?
I have not gotten there yet.
Oh! It's so good. The writing is really good. Then it gets weirdly sweet near like, okay. What's great about I can't really talk about a whole lot of it because you haven't seen most of it. You're only just now started. But it's written so well, the humor is amazing, and when it wants to get serious and sweet, it can write it really well.
Because I've seen the Christmas episode out of context, and I'm like, oh, this is cute.
Yeah, it's really good. I think if you want good Dan Harmon comedy that isn't animated for the most part, there's some really cool little animated bits.
Controversy. Man. White man abusing power.
Yeah, that. And I don't like Rick and Morty that much. It's okay, season 1 and 2 are good, but season 3... kind of stinky.
Oh, come on. Rick and Morty Szechuan sauce. Come on.
Logic
was on the show. Come on, man. He's the best rapper in the world.
Oh, God. All right. But
Killer Mike was there.
Ice-T was also on that show.
Dude, everybody's on Rick and Morty.
I mean, it's good. Donald Glover also loves Rick and Morty, so I guess, it's not awful, but yeah.
I think animation-wise, it's really great.
Yeah, I think I'm really...
I think I can forgive a gag if it's not good on the show because the animation is, like, fantastic.
Yeah.
I think what's very interesting about it is it's mostly scripted, but, like, it's
Dan
not
Harmon.
always scripted.
Dan Harmon improvises... Not Dan Harmon. Justin Roiland.
I'm like, Dan Harmon doesn't do any of the voice. He doesn't... Yeah. He never does anything like that.
Justin Roiland, he's the voice of Rick and Morty, and he improvises
because he really does actually get drunk to do, like, Rick. That's serious. Like, he does that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he'll legit, like, drink beers to do the burping thing. He can't do that on command. He has to get drunk to do it. That's how he really does it. He's also apparently friends with Ethan Klein, which is the weirdest bro friendship ever.
Yeah.
That is the weirdest, like, bro friendship I've ever seen in my life. But I'm like, oh, wow. 2 white guys. They might kiss.
But yeah, I think Community is solid. It's a really good piece of network television. Season 4 is objectively the weakest season.
Is that the one where he left?
Donald?
Yeah.
He left in season 5.
Okay, yeah. I remember that was a big controversy, and then they brought him back.
They did not bring him back,
Did
actually.
they not? I thought I heard that.
They did not bring him back.
Okay. Really? I thought I heard a rumor that he came back. Okay.
I also heard that rumor too, and then I ended up watching the whole series. I'm like, he is nowhere to be found on the rest of the season.
That's weird. Why would somebody lie to me about that?
I don't know.
That's weird. Okay.
But yeah, unless they want to count that brief cameo he has, but it's not even Donald. It's someone facing away from the camera who's playing his character. So, I don't know. But Keith David shows up like halfway through season 5.
I love how you're just like gonna negate that the Reading Rainbow guy shows up.
Yeah, LeVar Burton shows up.
LeVar Burton shows up. I didn't want to see LeVar Burton.
Hold on.
I just wanted a picture.
You can't disappoint a picture. I'm like, oh my God, I love that.
Facebook loves clipping that part. They love to clip that part, but it's so hilarious.
It is so hilarious. You can't argue how funny that is.
I just wanted a picture.
You can't disappoint a picture. It's so fun. I want that.
Okay, my favorite quote so far from him is, "Do I have to do butt stuff? No. Do I get extra money if I do butt stuff?
Do I get paid extra if they do butt stuff?
I'm like, oh my God, how did they get that on network television?
It's so funny. I really like it. I think that's just solid comedy.
As it's like not the most like racy joke in the whole show.
Oh my God, my favorite joke is from when they want Troy to do football again. It's in your blood. That's racist. Your soul, that's racist. Your eyes, that's gay. That's homophobic. That's black. That's racist. Damn. So
I have no
funny.
excuse for not watching this.
Honestly, it's so fun. Okay, now
I'm watching on Amazon since every other streaming service is like, no.
Advanced Dungeons
not
and
that
Dragons.
one episode.
Please watch it on Amazon or at least buy the episode Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
I mean, you could just buy the Blu-ray. But I'm hearing the Blu-ray set doesn't include the bonus features, which is odd.
It is. I'm not gonna do it.
You're not gonna do it?
I'm not gonna do it.
Do it for the vine.
No, that's old.
Do it for the vine.
Bruh. So,
listen, no, I'm not old.
I mean, what weirdly is a Vine reference is the end credits of JoJo Part 1. I'm not even kidding. That became a meme. But anyway, JoJo's, that's my third favorite TV show. I ended up getting into it because I'm like, I keep fucking, I
keep trying to bully me into watching it, just like I was like, Cobra Kai.
And I'm like, here, watch 4 seasons of an anime.
I'm like,
3 seasons are 59 to 40 episodes. No,
yeah,
49 to 50 episodes.
I'll just watch Full Metal Alchemist, okay?
I actually will be watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood next. So that's my
Be
next
prepared
one.
to have tissues.
Why?
I'm not gonna get into it right now. You haven't watched it.
All right. But yeah, JoJo's. I've seen all of it up to where they've announced
That's
part
cool.
6.
I think bad. They hit women. No watchy for me.
Okay, Dio hits women. All right.
Listen. I'm still gonna watch it at some point. I just prioritize community over that.
Yeah, but I really like JoJo's. It's a completely different show each season. Each part, I mean.
And you're telling me it's not like the manga at all, basically? Like the
No,
art style, at least, is not the same.
The art style kind of stays consistent for the most part because the manga art style. What's weird about Hirohiko Araki's original art style, he drew them buff. I swear to God, literally all the first 3 JoJos, they're pumping straight iron. I swear they're built they look like they're made out of stone. It's weird. They even mentioned that in part 1. Where they kind of briefly have a little tongue-in-cheek reference about how the main JoJo is a gentle giant, he is built strong. But yeah, the art style does get translated pretty well to animate a manga to anime, but I think it's really better to enjoy the art style now because Araki has gone back and just redone the art style for the covers, not for the pages of the original manga. So, I mean, if you really want to enjoy because the art style is amazing. The art style.
I'm just cool.
I'm sorry, I'm over here obsessed. The art, dude, his art was featured in the same museum as the Mona Lisa. His characters have modeled for Gucci before. He's had a Vans collaboration. JoJo's is everywhere. Yeah, JoJo. I really like JoJo's. Part 1 is cute. It's a cute little story about vampirism. Part 2
cute is reserved for Hello Kitty, not
a tale of vampirism and women abuse.
I mean, I suppose the art style, sure, I would say it is.
Part 2 is a funny kind of Raiders of the Lost Ark type story. It also has a MacGuffin. Part 3 is a completely different story.
As long as it's not like the 4th movie. I stand with Abid on that one.
Yeah.
I don't want the 4th movie. That's weird how that correlated to cutting out the 4th movie. I'm like, yeah, that 4th Indiana Jones movie.
Part 3 is a completely different story. I'm not going to go into why it is. It's just completely different.
Because everybody falls in love with each other and they kiss.
I wish that was not true. It doesn't.
Oh, I was kidding.
No, you were. I'm kidding too.
Oh.
It's not true either.
Oh, okay. I was like, is that really the part 3?
No, part 3 is ridiculous. I don't like it as much as part 4. Part 4 is my favorite part of the whole series.
Is that the one where everybody's is that the meme where everybody's stomping on the guy?
No, that's part 5. That's part 5.
Okay.
Part 5. Part 4 is adorable. I think it's wholesome. Now, okay. Part 4 is a slice of life, David Bowie murder mystery. Yeah, because the main villain is inspired by the Duke. It's weird. It's good though. It's really good.
Pop quiz. Have you listened to David Bowie?
Nope.
That's okay. I forgive you.
No, you don't.
I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
can hear in that tone of voice, you don't forgive me at all.
I'm a new man now. I do meditation every day. I forgive.
All this meditation's gonna go nowhere. Especially with me. I've explained to you the reason why I haven't heard so many things.
Whoa.
There's like.
Hold on. I just want to address that you said this meditation's going nowhere. I gotta process that part.
With me. Every time they deal with me, your meditation, it's like going nowhere. For you.
That was a joke. I'm not really actually mad at you for that.
Okay, you better not be.
That was a joke. Let the record show I'm not actually mad at him for that. That was a gag for the camera. I'm not actually angry at you.
Later, I would be found dead in the streets.
As we were off camera, you motherfucker! Listen to fucking Star! Listen to fucking David Bowie! You bitch!
But, yeah, part 5 is, hey, we gotta go track, part 5, the best way I can really, the best way I've heard to describe anything is, start off with, like, how it starts, and then, long story short, and how it ends. So, anyway, a carriage crashed in the late 1800s, and now the gays are invading the mafia in Italy.
I love how that's probably what actually happened.
Yeah, literally everything in that whole story of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the whole catalyst is because a carriage crashed in the late 1800s.
And that's anime for you.
Yeah, and and long story short, there's a bunch of gay people running the mafia in Italy.
Wow,
That
disappoints my guy in the vinyl.
But I recommend watching it. There's a lot of funny things about it. It's funny. There's some funny moments out of context, and
yeah, the stomping is always funny out of context.
It is. How many breads have you eaten in your life? I'm sorry, I love that so
I don't
much.
know, a million?
No, oh, that's a part 1 reference. I'm sorry, you haven't gotten there yet. That's a literal reference in part 1. There's one in part 1.
The record show, I want to watch it at some point.
You will. Don't worry, on me.
I will watch it.
You better. It's so good.
I will.
It is solid as hell. Yeah, like I've mentioned, part 1 is honestly the weakest of the whole parts because what happens literally in terms of what happens later on, it's the weakest story, but it's still really good. I still find it entertaining to go back to and watch.
Well said, sir. Well said.
All right, now because I know I don't want to. There's so much I want to say, but it's just in the territory.
Yeah, let's just move on to something interesting.
Yeah,
music.
our favorite.
Yeah, screw that anime. Let's talk about music, shall we? You know, the thing that we like to dabble in.
How dare you?
Don't you
cut me off like that?
A poetic legend, Gil Scott Heron.
Ooh,
I'm saying it all fancy. Heron.
Heron.
Yes, people. I often think, what's an album that I would consider to be
Your
perfect
favorite.
front to back? And this is probably one of my personal favorites, honestly. This right here, Pieces of a Man, Gil Scott Heron, is honestly one of my favorite albums ever.
Mm-hmm.
What I love about this album is it blends funk, poetry, jazz, a little bit of hip hop in there, a little bit of rap for the time in the 70s. All into this fantastic, poetic, just amazing record. I mean, if you haven't listened to this thing, you need to sit down and listen to it. Because 1 minute, it begins with the revolution will not be televised. A message about, God, way ahead of its time. About, Jesus Christ. It correlates to real life now because, now it's like, geez, anywhere you go on television, it's like, oh my God, Black Lives Matters everywhere.
Mm.
But geez, it's amazing that this dude back then was like, the revolution will not be televised, the revolution will be live. About, everything in the world, people dying from the hands of cops, shit like that. It's crazy if you listen to this, how like, whoa, that's crazy. And I mean, this dude didn't even get to, unfortunately, see that because he died in 2011, which is kind of sad. I mean, we could get into that. His death is not very happy. What happened basically to him? He died of HIV and pneumonia. That was
Damn.
It's not a happy ending for him. But what I think is unique about this record is he does blend happiness and pain in every song, where like one song is about, like a really good example of pain in this record is Home Is Where the Hatred Is, which was sampled by Kanye West on his second album, Late Registration. Check that album out if you haven't. In the song Home Is Where the Hatred Is, he says, home is where the hatred is. It might not be such a bad idea if I never go home again. What's unique about the song is he's talking about his pain, his drug addiction, how he doesn't want to go back, but he can't stop doing it. It's a unique story to hear somebody poetically telling a story, but also singing at the same time about an addiction, you know, the environment he's growing up in not being good. You know, it's a unique thing to hear just so beautifully sung, but like it's his pain, he's making it into art. Like, it's so unique. I've never really heard anything like this until I sat down and yes, we'll show everybody that it's on a beautiful black vinyl record, by the way. It's a repressing. I tried to get an original pressing, but every original pressing I could see on eBay was going for like way more than retail value.
Well, yes. I mean, if it's as good as you say it is.
No, it's as good. I mean, any auction I saw for this was like starting at like, oh, you know, $18. That's fine, whatever. I'm willing to spend that much money on it. Then it was like, okay, above $40. Okay, I'll buy the repressing for $30. Never mind. But yeah, I mean, and then the funny thing is, you know, after Home Is Where the Hatred Is, then it goes to this like beautiful song, When You Are Who You Are, which is this nice little sweet sounding song where he's like singing about, you know, when you are who you are, being who you are, you know, he's singing to a female, obviously, in this song, you know. Mm-hmm. I like it when you're yourself, you know, or he could be talking about, you know, people in general, you know, when you are who you are. It's a unique little album that's really good. Like, you know, one song can be this message that's deep, but the next song, like the opening track is The Revolution Will Not Be Televised, and then the next track is Save the Children, where he's singing about, you know, like, you know, we got to support this new generation of people, you know, and like support them, you know, help our children, you know. And he's literally singing about kids, like, you know, what they say they want to grow up to be, and, you know, oh, hey, like, let's support them and, like, love them, you know, because they're our kids, you know. And I really enjoy that message, honestly. Mm-hmm. It's amazing how good it is. And, like, there's so many moments where, like, I'll literally listen to the end of the song and then start it over, because that's how good some of it really is. And this is not his debut album. Some would say it's his debut album because his original first album was technically a live album. He stated many times that it was just a bunch of people that showed up with chairs to the studio, and they just recorded the people clapping in the background to make it sound like a live album, because The Revolution Will Not Be Televised was written before this, but this is the official recording of it. Like an actual studio recording of it. And when you listen to the opening track, it's like he's rapping. That's how good it is. Like, he's rapping over this amazing instrumental, but it is poetry the way he's doing it still. He's like, the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will be live. It's like amazing how well it's done. You listen to it now. Listen.
We gotta finish this first. Well, yeah, I'll listen to it. Dang, what is it called again? Pieces of a Man?
Yes.
Dang, all right.
By Flying Dutchman Records, by the way.
Ooh.
If you ever wanted to get the actual pressing, the repressing, because it's really hard to find an OG pressing at a regular price for this thing. If you think you're gonna find it, good luck. I've checked Discogs and everything; they're all way overpriced.
I mean, I would imagine. I mean, this is for like what? This came out in the 70s?
Came out, I want to say 1971.
Wow, all right.
So yeah, it's a pretty good album. It's honestly front to back one of the most enjoyable records I've ever listened to because at some moments it's like, oh, you know, we're relaxing. Oh shit, damn, we're getting serious. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's not, dang. All right, I'm
It's
gonna
a nice
have to
little
check
funky album too. It's also got a lot of jazz though. It's amazing how like there's so many influences on this thing, and I mean, so many hip hop songs have sampled this thing. By the way, like Kanye West totally respect, and this guy ended up like later on in his later life when he kept making music. He ended up sampling Kanye West, like making it full circle. Like he sampled "Flashing Lights" on his album later on.
Nice, nice.
Like yeah, he like got a writing credit on Home, like that one. Like he got a sample on that late registration. He got a credit for that too. Like he approved of it. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Dang.
I sold you on it now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to this when I get home. So my favorite record, I feel like this. Yeah.
He's gonna bring out. I know which one he's gonna bring out.
Are you sure? Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it.
I love this. I love this record so much. I'm sorry. As soon as I
either that or Michelle, and I was like, yeah, which one is it? Let's see.
Yeah, I love this album so much, front to back.
That's the one I grabbed at Walmart, yeah, isn't it? But you probably grabbed that somewhere else, didn't you?
I pre-ordered it when I figured out that they were gonna do repressings of it. I was just
I told you, didn't I?
You did. I'm like, I don't think they're gonna do more repressings of it.
No,
and they're like,
people are bitching too much about it. I saw it on Reddit so much.
What sucks is that this one doesn't include the original screenplay that the original vinyl did include. I'm sorry. I still have to listen to it. I still haven't. Okay. So what's interesting about this record is that there's a screenplay that goes along with it, and it's a story of the main character called the Boy, and his journey to pretty much get out of his father's shadow, more or less. He's a rich kid. He wants to do his own thing.
Oh, so is that where that line comes in? I don't give a fuck about my family name. Is that where that comes
kid.
in?
He's not the boy. His name is the kid in the album. Yeah, that's where that comes from.
I was always wondering about that when I heard that song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what's interesting, he no longer says that line when he does it live.
I think what's interesting about that
song...
the
whole reason he doesn't do it live is because his dad's dead.
I know. Yeah. I know the story of why he did it. What I think is very interesting about that particular song is Problem has a credit feature, yet all he does is he goes, wah, in the background, and that's all he does. He doesn't even have a verse or nothing.
I think it's even listed on here. On the
That's all he does.
Where is it?
That's all he does.
Yeah, featuring Problem right there.
I love that Childish Gambino loves to do that. He credits people, yet they have like no feature in it. And then here this man comes out with This Is America, and then like 21 Savage, Quavo, Young Thug, all these people are on the song in the background doing ad-libs.
Oh my god, Thundercat did the background vocals for Pink Toes.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that they were friends? Yeah, they've worked
I know
together.
they're friends. I know they're friends.
Yeah, they've worked together before. Yeah.
But yeah, I like this. I love this album front to back. I think I really should listen to it with the screenplay, because like what you're supposed to do, read the screenplay, play the song, pause the album, read the screenplay, continue.
And very interesting way of listening to that. The versions I've had don't have the screenplay. But okay.
No, I was really upset that it didn't come with the screenplay.
I never knew.
A lot of people, because I remember posting on Reddit that this was gonna get repressed. Because I don't think a lot of people really realize that. Because like, I was listening to Sober on YouTube, and I like, they always plug their merch, links to get their merchandise. I'm like, I'll get the Awaken My Love vinyl or the CD for this one. And I'm like, okay, cool. I see that because the internet is on vinyl, and I'm like, oh, it got repressed.
As I told you,
it got repressed.
As I told you,
yeah,
time and time again. He's gonna repress it. I know he will.
I got it repressed, and I absolutely love this thing so much. It's just a standard black vinyl, not a whole lot special.
I love my story of how I even found that album.
The sleeves are really nice. I really like the sleeves. That's the only way you can figure out if this is an A or B side. The sleeves, and like.
Yeah, I hate vinyls that do that though so much.
Yeah, that's if I would have really complained, this is literally just a vinyl complaint. That's my least favorite thing about this whole vinyl.
Yeah, I had the same problem with my Lockdown by Anderson .Paak vinyl, because I was like, oh, this is beautiful.
No A or B side, you just have to figure it out.
It's a picture disc. There's no A or B. Oh, wonderful.
But I mean, it is what it is. I really love the story that's told here, even without the whole context of the screenplay. I can still kind of piece together what this story's about.
I think the music videos help a lot.
Well, no, because the thing about the music video is that it's a completely different story. There's two stories being told here. The one in the original screenplay and the ones on the music video. The ones on the music video are interesting because it's just Donald Glover being invaded by an alien and he takes over the world. Like, I'm not even kidding. It starts with The Worst Guys and ends with 3005.
I love 3000. I mean, the music video is probably the weakest out of all of them, but
it's so iconic.
I actually really love the song.
No, the thing is, all of them have this octane things. Because, okay, The Worst Guys is just, okay, Donald Glover gets invaded by a body snatcher when he's out surfing with his friends. Oakland is him and his girlfriend. She doesn't know that.
Kidding.
She doesn't know that he's an alien, and then until the locals end up figuring it out, and he gets found out as an alien. The Sweatpants music video is him as an alien getting high with his friends, and him and the alien experience what it's like to be high for the first time. And then 3005, he takes over the world.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just basically him on a Ferris wheel most of the music video, but yeah.
Yeah, he takes over the whole world. It's a good
I forgot that that's what basically the story is, but most of the music video past the beginning is just basically him on a Ferris wheel with a teddy bear.
Yeah.
Just chilling, like, no matter what I say or what I do, when I'm alone, I'll be with you. The mother, I'll be right by your side till 2005.
Hold on. I was like,
that was the one song they used to always play on the radio from him at the beginning.
Yeah. If I were to really objectively pick one of my favorite songs off it, it would more or less be those three main hits. Sweatpants, 3005, and I don't know, was The Worst Guys really that big? I like it.
Really? I mean, the one that I always heard was 3005.
That's the biggest one, and I think a lot of people. Do you have any idea how many times I see that in fucking Tinder bios? My anthem, it's 3005. I'm like, jeez. There's like other songs
off over here trying to find a date. Look at him. Look at him trying to find a date.
There's like other songs that are just as good off this album.
No, I mean the whole thing is great.
Yeah, I love this whole thing.
I used to just stand that song, and then I was like, oh, this album's actually pretty good because I found it at Target for like $5, and I was like,
Pin Toes is my favorite song off the whole thing. That Gene Aiko verse, it's such an adorable song.
I'm kidding. I'm not really that much of a stan for her. That's the thing. I think she's good, but she's not great. She doesn't stand out. That's
my thing. Yeah, she's good. I really like the song that she did with him, though.
No, I like that song particularly. Well, I don't think that song she did with him on her album was that great. He was like the best part, and then like I'm kind of bored after that because she's kind of
Gene Aiko was on a single again. Yeah, she's in the background.
Oh, yeah, well, apparently they're dating again, so.
Oh. Yeah, I love it. I still gotta. You good?
I'm done.
Okay. I like this. It's one of my favorite Childish Gambino vinyls. Yes, I know Awaken My Love is better. I prefer this one over Awaken My Love.
People argue that's better. I've heard people argue that's better.
Really? I always hear the opposite.
There are people who like the rap over the singing, and I just like both, and that's where I
stand. Well, I like both of them, but if I would really
because I've objectively had like friends literally listen to Redbone. It'll be in the background. Mm-hmm. They just don't like it.
What?
They won't comment about it. And then I even put it in my friend's face. I was like, dude, I told you Redbone was gonna be a hit, and he's just staring at me, not saying a damn thing.
But yeah, this album's great. The main story of the whole album, from what bits and pieces I've heard, is like I mentioned, this kid is trying to get out of his father's shadow. He tries doing drug dealing and all that. He eventually dies, and the main lead dies of the whole story. And what's interesting about the last song off the whole album, I think. Life's the Biggest Troll, I think, is the last song off the whole album. I keep pulling this out, and I have more to say.
He just keeps loving
Life's the Biggest Troll, Andrew Auernheimer.
Oh wow, Andrew.
Yeah. What's interesting this isn't a Childish Gambino song. It's featuring Donald Glover.
He does that quite a bit. I don't think Oakland was a. Let me read that.
Yeah, it's Oakland by Lloyd.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't.
But
I think he did that quite a bit, actually.
But the last song off the whole album, He's
In Oakland.
in Oakland. But yeah, he's in a in like a really white ice cream parlor eating ice cream by himself, and that's him. That's his brain dying. That's like the last thing the album leaves you on. Him dying, him alone, realizing he really didn't grow up that well, and that he didn't really change as much. It's a good story. It's a good story. I really need to listen. I really need to listen to it that way, but you know, I can only listen to it the way I know. It's up. It's all over Google, so you can probably just Google it. You know, because the internet's screenplay, and you'll find it.
Because of the internet, you can Google.
Yeah. It's a.
I like how you just processed that joke after I'd already said it. You're
yeah, it like took me a second. I'm like, God damn it. Yeah, this is. I keep saying how much I love it. I never skip it. Every time I play it on vinyl, I have such a good time.
Thanks for the vinyl.
You already have one.
I know.
You already have one.
You bullied me into getting it.
I did.
You're like, go buy it. I'm like, okay.
Go buy it. I don't really want to pre-order it. Go buy it. Oh, here at Walmart, go buy it. All right, I will. All right, I loved it.
I hate the anticipation of waiting because, like, it's like, oh, I want this record.
Mine got really delayed. I ordered it back in December. It did not show up till almost February.
Yes, just like you ordered Smile by The Weeknd featuring Juice WRLD.
No, the other way around.
It's the other way around.
Yeah.
But. And then here I am, a heathen who grabs it from Walmart, like, haha, my version has Smile.
Yeah, you got the album. You got.
They actually have another copy there. You should go get it, dude.
I'm broke, so no. Not yet.
Get some more monies.
I get paid tomorrow.
Make it OnlyFans.
No. No.
But come on, you can just do DJing on there. I don't. What do people use OnlyFans for? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like Doja Cat, who's OnlyClans.
I'm not gonna tell him. Who's gonna tell him? It's not gonna be me.
I don't.
Who's gonna tell him?
What?
Who's gonna tell him?
What are we talking about?
But yeah, you got anything more to? I don't got much to say.
I don't. How are you doing mentally today? How are you doing?
Tired. I'm gonna go back to sleep.
I was hoping for a better answer than that. Oh,
I'm just a little sleepy. I'm just a little sleepy.
A little sleepy.
I am having a lot of fun now that school's out, so I can do this more often. I was gonna probably have to do this later, but I originally.
Oh, you got the thing.
I got the sleeves, yeah. I was supposed to get a haircut today. I'm like, shit. I don't have any money.
No haircut. No.
I don't have haircut money.
Okay, so does that mean I should get you popcorn for our little movie today?
No, I'm fine.
Oh, a little teaser for the movie review I'm doing. We're gonna go see Meet the Blacks 2.
Apparently, it's not that good. He's really excited.
Oh no, I still want to go watch it.
I know. He's excited.
It's gonna be fun.
He's excited how bad
It's
it is.
gonna be fun. You know, Mike Epps and Cat Williams and Rick Ross and Snoop Dogg and the cast is getting worse. King Batch.
King Batch is there.
Yeah.
What about that backflip though?
No, I actually like that meme, but no.
I love it too. Hey, can I have some ice cream? Only a spoonful. Fucking comically large spoon. Sorry, it's so funny. Me and Ethan, we were having a whole conversation about how all the King Batch memes are unironically and ironically funny. Like, they have no right being as good as they are.
I love how that's what we're talking about. We haven't even seen the movie yet. We're like,
King Batch, funny man.
King Batch, just not a good actor. I saw him in
You got that gas money? I'm sorry. There's so many funny King Batch vines. I'm so sorry.
I love how he takes that joke. So at first it's just, okay, all right, get out, or they'll take you back. It progresses to he goes on a plane. He's like, you got that gas money?
We on a plane. Get you. So funny. Like, you got that gas money? Oh, you got cards. You want cash back?
50 Shades of Black. That's what it was.
Oh.
Because they like have him show up, and it's like.
Plants. He was in that babysitter movie that Netflix put out. Apparently that wasn't even that bad.
We can talk about that another day. I have opinions about that. I have opinions. It's okay. I don't like Bella Thorne in that movie. Bella Thorne. She's an OnlyFans member we don't support.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't. Okay. She's the whole reason there's like a Apparently, there's like a cap.
No, yeah, it's her fault.
Yeah, it's her fault.
It's our fault.
There's a cap. There's like certain limits on that site now because of her.
Alright, yeah, I think we're done here, right?
Yeah, we're good.
We're done.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere anybody can find you? No.
Not yet.
No.
Still working on it.
You're just here. I put him outside all week.
He lets me. He finally. You know, I was in the basement for like 3 weeks, and now he's letting me outside for once.
I know he gets to eat the grass. He I cook him some meat on the grill. You know, he gets some food. He gets some water. I throw him a water bottle and be like, donk, water bottle.
Yeah, you know, the rain. They helped me out. You know.
I mean, you're already here. You already found me. Interested on YouTube. You know, Steady Medley on Facebook. Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's another episode of the.
Yo, you can't stand right here. In this man's right hand was your man's worst nightmare. I almost got it.
I'm getting harassed with lyrics before
Doom.
trying to end my show.
Listen to MF Doom. Man's great.
I mean, yeah, you could give him the gas face. He doesn't understand the reference. It's an old reference before he was MF Doom.
You've told me he was Gasface before.
Well, no, that was the song he was on before he was MF Doom, but okay.
He told me about
that wasn't his name back then. He used to not wear a mask.
I know, he rapped with his brother.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I know. I love his whole story, how he was like legit.
I think we're trying to end this and now we're talking about MF Doom.
Okay, alright. Let's get out of here.
Scream MF Doom.
Scream crazy face. Even though MF Doom is barely on it, but yeah.
Got more cheese and Doritos.
Screw the needle drop for giving that a 7 out of 10.
Got more cheese.
For shame.
More...
As if Anthony Fantano was like sitting here and watching this.
Probably.
Let me tag him and be like, hey, needle drop, watch this. Yes, maybe that's the discussion we can have, the needle drop.
Got more cheese and Doritos, Fritos, or Cheetos.
He's like, I'm not, you can't get me to say anything bad about Anthony Fantano. We stand that man.
He's funny, but on TikTok, but other than that.
Oh, come on. He's not a bad reviewer.
He's not awful. A lot of people take his opinions to heart, and I don't think we should.
If I don't agree with him, I don't really agree with his Glass Animals review, and I still like that album quite a bit.
Yeah.
He gave that album like a very low rating, and I'm like, oh, I don't even think he gave it a rating. He gave it a not. I really dislike when he does that. That's a cheap way for him to say he didn't like the record when he gives it a not good. Despite the fact that I really do find his 21 Savage Metro Booming review, like, I do agree with most of his points on the Savage Mode review. But, like, whenever he, like, does the not good thing, I'm like, okay, you're just doing a cheap way of giving this a 1 out of 10. And you're explaining it in a weird way where you're like, oh, not good. After Effects. But yeah. Okay, let's get the hell out of here, all right? They know where to find me. We're out of here. That's another episode. I'm walking away. We're done.
It's a wrap.
We're done.
Rap snitches. Tell them all their business. You're not gonna end it. You're just standing.
You see, I was gonna end it, but now we're done here.
Yeah. Bye.